Hello, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here today for part 3 of our SP by Vday challenge. And today we're going to be talking about staying flexible. Welcome to the channel. This is a place where we help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so that you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. My friends, it's all there for you, ready and willing and excited to be activated by you, by your attention, your awareness, and your belief. So if that sounds good, please subscribe. We'd love to have you. Week 3, here we are. So the first 2 weeks, if you are new to this series, if this is the first time you're tuning in, we are doing a 4-week Manifest Your SP by Vday challenge. I highly recommend, please go back to videos 1 and 2. I will put them above and do the practices. Do the practices. Practice. Each tool or focus I give you is meant to be done for a week. Do them for a week. Do them in order and let me know what happens. Always, as always, drop any comments, questions, success stories, anything you have, drop it below and I'm happy to engage with you. I also have my email available in the description box if you want to reach out to me privately. So we have already practiced creating a vacuum. We have already practiced being illogical. And at this point, you should have, I would expect, I anticipate, I intend that you saw some movement. You saw some movement within yourself, for sure, right? You, at this point, should be feeling pretty disidentified from who you were, of working too hard, working so hard to get your SP, to make it happen, to make something happen. And we should have, by now, hopefully, have reinforce some of the beliefs that reality is illogical, that we can expect things out of the blue, that we can change a story and cling to and believe in that story so much that we bend reality, that we jump reality, that we quantum leap into somewhere totally different just by picking a random story and telling it and then watching the evidence unfold. So I hope that's the experience that you've had some fun, that it's been refreshing and fun and happy process. Because if there have been elements where it hasn't, swipe left on it, swipe left. I'll link the swipe left video again. All right, so this week we're going to talk about staying flexible. And this is a little bit shorter video today because I want us to focus on the potential that we completely misinterpreted the situation with our SP, right? Whatever happened in the past, whatever, even if it's someone that we haven't met yet, our SP, like maybe it's an actor or an actress, or even if we are looking for new love, right? Whatever the truth is, when you think about right now, when you describe your current beliefs about your specific person, even if you're single and you're like, well, I'm alone, I'm single, right? This is part of what we would have shed, could have shed, can shed in that first week's exercise. But I want us to go a little deeper. We're going to return to that identity. And could you have been wrong about your SP? Are you open to being completely, totally mistaken, incorrect about your SP and what's already transpired, or whatever you think that they're experiencing about you or feeling about you or thinking about you or doing about you, right? I was mistaken. I was mistaken. This is kind of the opposite of last week, where last week we kind of took a story and we made it true. This is where we're going to take a story and make it untrue. So this increases our cognitive flexibility. We're staying flexible. We're practicing staying flexible, not using the same mental strategies that we always have, because that's what logic is, right? So we're going to do the opposite. Think of a time when you totally misjudged a situation, right? This could have been, when you thought it was worse than it was, and then when you got the facts, sorry, throwing my notes around there, you realize, whoa, I was so wrong about that. And remember that instant shift, right? Where you got this data that made you instantly shift into a new reality where it's like what you were thinking before is like not even like you're in a totally different place now. Like, oh my gosh, they weren't mad at me after all. Or like, oh my gosh, I wasn't, this is not what this person was thinking after all. Because along part of why we feel separate from our SP is there's probably a little bit still of a story of they're not interested in me. They don't love me. They are mad at me. What is the story you're telling about them and their attitude and what they're thinking about you right now? And are you open to being completely wrong about that? That's my question for you. If you are open to being mistaken, drop a comment below. Say right now, I was mistaken. I am open to being incorrect. I embrace the humility of making this an untruth, right? Like I will totally I can let go of that belief that they don't like me if they really like me. Like notice that we can do the same thing here where we can take a story where we really thought it was true. We really believed in it. And that's what was shaping our reality. Be open to being completely wrong about it. That we misinterpreted, that we applied a story on top of the behaviors or what we were seeing that created and perpetuated what we were believing. Be open to that because that shifts realities like this. Again, something I have started using in my reality is when I am believing something about a situation and it's not changing, it's because I'm still hanging on to that old belief. I'm still hanging on to it. I'm still believing that that's the truth. So be open to believing, be open to being totally wrong and totally, eat the time. Be like, I was completely wrong about him or her. Like, wow, he's crazy about me. She's crazy about me. She loves me so much. She drives past my house. That's why I was having all these sad feelings about seeing their car in my neighborhood because I felt them driving past my house to see if I was there. Be open to being completely wrong about someone. I have actually witnessed this and manifested it in real time. And I've mentioned this before, but a lot of my friendships, I practice these things in my friendships because I think friendships and romantic relationships, they're a great analog for each other, right? Whatever we're practicing in our friendships, we can also practice in our relationships and vice versa. And because it's all interpersonal skill, right? It's all interpersonal skill. And so with my friendships, I practice kind of recreating and making them better. And I actually had a female friend once who I believed at the time we were kind of going through a fight, and I decided to change my story and do this very approach where I am open to, I framed it a little differently. I framed it as I am open to whatever she is feeling as being her truth, and I'm not going to try and interpret the situation. I'm not going to try and judge it or put my story on top of it. I'm just going to let it be. I'm just going to let it be and hope for the best. I'm just going to let it be and hope for the best. And when I adopted this position, and I had really wrestled for about a month with her, like she missed an event that was really important to me that I thought she was going to be there for. And so when I could adopt the story, I was open to being wrong about the judgments I was making about her, the assessments of the situation I was making. I was open to being wrong. And you know what happened? Within a couple of days of me assuming this position, assuming this mindset, opening myself up to more potentials, right? For the energy to flow, for things to change. instead of clinging to the story, because that's how we create. We like dogs, we grab onto what we think is true and we refuse to let it go. We absolutely refuse. But if we are open to staying in a non-judgmental place, things will shift quickly. And suddenly she was literally texting me and was like, I'm at your house, I need to talk to you. And she was at my door, suddenly, randomly, out of the blue, apologizing. And she said to me, she actually said, I don't know why I'm here, but I just felt it was important. Like she was drawn to come over and apologize and fix things. And we were able to move forward from there. Like that pivoted our relationship. And so, but it was only I allowed that to happen by stepping back and stopping telling the story, letting go of the belief that the only truth available in my reality was that she was a bad person and a bad friend and I needed to cut her out of my life. Like I gave some space for things to move. So that when you achieve the feeling, when you can genuinely be like, I admit anything is possible and I could have been totally mistaken about how I assessed this whole situation with my SP. If you can say that out loud. Rewind 10 seconds, go back and say that out loud to yourself. I was mistaken. I was totally mistaken. And you hit the feeling of it. It's true for you now. And you will start to see evidence. Again, you're going to get the evidence. The evidence is just going to start popping up. You're going to get these little pings of awareness of new evidence, right? Because your mind, you've just given a command to your mind. You've just jumped realities. You have just, because our minds are predictors. They're predictive. They 90% of what we're experiencing is what our mind is predicting. And so if we change the parameters of what your mind, your brain, your cognition is predicting, it's going to start to calculate and grab the evidence and show you, look, this is what I found that's true. You were wrong. Look, this is what I found. And then the belief builds. You build your own belief. And then suddenly your SP is at your door knocking, saying, oh my gosh, I love you. I miss you. I'm here for you. Let's do this. This is amazing. Or your friend or whoever. Money. Be open. You can do this with money. This whole process can be also lather, rinse, repeat with anything else in your life. The same steps that I'm giving you. So your homework this week, stay flexible. Your homework this week, I just want you as a thought exercise to consider, I am open to being potentially mistaken about all the assessments that I made about this situation with my SP. They could be totally madly in love with me. They could be driving by my house to see if I'm here. They could be looking me up on social media. They could be whatever it is you think is possible in their behavior. Be open to being mistaken that you misjudged the situation and there is a different reality that you're allowing to come forth. Just be open to it. Just muse on it. Think about it lightly. And you'll start to see evidence. Evidence will pop in your mind. And I want to hear your success stories. Drop them below. Let me know when this happens, because as soon as you embody it and catch that feeling, for real, that's your new truth now. That's it. I think I was totally wrong about this. So again, we're not actively pursuing them. We're reassessing what we've experienced with them. Our perceived past, we are reassessing. Or again, if you haven't met this person yet, that distance is a problem, or whatever you're doubting, whatever doubts are coming up. Be open to being wrong about them. Be open to being mistaken. Be open to having the incorrect judgment and the humility to do that. And watch how fast things will shift when you catch it for real and make that your belief, your actual genuine belief that I think I totally misjudged this situation. Oops. Make it real. Make it real, like really catch that feeling, really dig in, really make that your truth, really make that your fact, and you'll see movement. I promise you, you'll see movement. And do this again. You can do this with other aspects of your life. Do this with smaller things, but also this week, we're starting to turn our attention back to SP. Think about our SP in that way, right? Just consider it. Consider the possibility. Let it stir. Let it stir up there in the old noggin. So if you have any comments, questions, let me know. Drop a comment, drop something below, and I am happy to engage with you. And I will see you next week for part 4. Thanks for watching.